Hey, this is Gary Barnidge of the Cleveland Browns, and you're listening to the This Is Awesome Wrestling Show.
Produced by the Cleveland Sound Radio Network. Here is the This Is Awesome Wrestling Show, hosted by Glenn Moore and Steve Guy.
This is Awesome Wrestling Show right here on CLESound.com. I am Glenn Moore. I'm my co-host here, Steve Guy. A very special episode. Gary Barnidge of the Cleveland Browns will be joining us to talk some wrestling. You might be wondering why a NFL player is joining the show, but he is a huge wrestling fan, does a lot of charity work as well, and he gives away tickets to WrestleMania. So he talks about that. We talk about his Total Divas appearance, and we talk about just the general WrestleMania and Raw and his thoughts on the wrestling business. But he is a big wrestling fan and also a Cleveland Browns player, so that's kind of cool. So he joins the show later on. Steve, Cleveland is a B city when it comes to WWE, when it comes to attendance. We are the, I would say, Triple H of cities when it comes to attendance-wise and how the WWE views us.
No. You know what it is? This city knows wrestling.
Yeah.
And they understand it. And they know that certain shows that WWE's rolling in, they're going to put on crap, and it's going to be garbage. And we're not going to be fed crap and garbage. So you put a show like NXT together, man, the Agora was sold out and it was crazy, wasn't it?
They're going on attendance, not about
that's what I'm saying.
Being marquee.
So people will go to that, and then TLC was sold out. It was insane because we knew we were going to see some good stuff. But, you know, he gave us the same old boring storylines, and it's like, I don't know. It's just kind of like, it's like when we all buy the Browns. Well, we won't go there. When we all want to go to
Don't do that.
We all go, we're all pumped about the Indians during the beginning of the season because we're like, yeah, this is going to be good, right? Like a few years ago.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden they puttered out after the All-Star break, and we're like, yeah, we're not going to buy into that anymore. We understand exactly what's happening there. Kind of the same thing. That's a good explanation because the Dolans in Cleveland are kind of viewed like, I guess, the McMahons, right?
Yeah.
Putting the same stuff out there, and they just want you to eat it up, even though you want these new, better, awesome results.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, because WWE had to release their schedule for a lawsuit, and they release every single date up until, all of this year, all the way until end of March next year. And it reveals that Cleveland, they're going to be in Cleveland in June 15th. They'll be in Cleveland for a house show, which is a Saturday show on the 26th in September. And they'll be back for Raw in January 18th of next year, the Raw before Royal Rumble. And they reveal that Cleveland is a B city when it comes to attendance. They have A, B plus B, and C. And they view Cleveland as a B city grouped in with St. Louis, San Diego, New Orleans, Austin, Texas, Dayton, Ohio. A cities, Pittsburgh is up there. Ugh.
Boo.
Tampa Bay is also up there with A. Toronto is an A for both venues. Columbus, Cincinnati, two Ohio cities are up there for A cities for attendance. So Cleveland is a B city, which I kind of find that to be kind of, I take that offense to that because we are a good city.
Yeah. Do you think that some of that has to do with just the fact of the arena size? Could it be? Or are they going on percentage tickets?
They are going percentage-wise. So
the
last time they were in Cleveland, they filled the place up 79%, which is a C.
For Monday Night Raw?
Yeah, for Raw. But for TLC, it was full to capacity.
Oh, yeah, it was.
So that's what they're basing it on. This is based off the lawsuit from WWE. So this is just some guy rating. This is actually from WWE, and they reveal a lot of the Raws and SmackDowns and house shows and pay-per-view venues for next year that haven't been revealed yet. They reveal them as well. So that was part of the some of the news. Also, some of the news going on. A guy that we saw at WrestleMania weekend, Uhaa Nation, is now with NXT. We knew that. Obviously we knew that. And Jasmine.
Yeah, we've seen her wrestle in AIW, part of Team Barely Legal.
Yeah, she is the part of the 11 new NXT arrivals, new superstars, and it's nice to see that, hey, we saw both of those compete live.
Yeah, she's a sight for sore eyes.
Yeah, she's 20 years old, so she's young, and Uhaa Nation is a indie favorite.
Uhaa will give you sore eyes if he punches you in the face.
So that's other news going on as well. And before we get into Raw, WB Network has released a ton of new content that involves the old Attitude Era. They have revealed, I think, around 55 new episodes of Raw from the Attitude Era, consisting of the 1998 year that's where the Attitude Era picked up. You can go back and watch where Stone Cold teased the whole corporate Stone Cold, the beer truck.
Yeah. You have Stone Cold and Mike Tyson at that point, I think.
I think that was 97.
Was that right before that?
Yeah.
The beer truck. That's a good time.
That was a good one.
Blasting everybody with it.
The Rock is just starting to make, beginning of 98, making his little, turn to being one of the biggest superstars.
Yeah.
You had guys, the mid-card is fantastic. You had Jeff Jarrett. You had Owen Hart. You had Val Venus make his debut.
We start seeing post-Shawn Michaels DX, actually, at that point.
Yes, that was right.
That's when they really picked up. The Outlaws joined DX. X-Pac comes back from WCW.
You had Cactus Jack, Dude Love, Mankind, Mick Foley.
Does Mick Foley win the title? In 99. He wins it on Monday Night Raw.
That was after that.
That was after they... Oh, that one's not released yet?
I think that was after,
a little bit later. Yeah.
But yeah, it's a lot of great content, and I find myself binge watching now because I can't get enough of it because it's better than the current product now.
Plus, I mean, it's only 2 hours.
Yeah, definitely.
Instead of 3.
And they condense it. And they show some extras too.
Hey, Sable was in that, huh?
Yeah, but I'm not a big Sable fan.
Oh.
No.
Trish Stratus, though.
I'm not sure. She was just being with TNA, Tess and Albert.
Yeah. Lita, was she with S.A. Rios, or was she with the Hardys at that point?
I don't think she was Hardy Boys. I don't think the Hardy Boys came about yet.
No?
I think they just started.
Well, they were part
of
yeah, towards the end maybe of '98, because you gotta remember they were part of SummerSlam 2000.
Yeah,
that was a big TLC match there that then they parlayed into WrestleMania following after that.
Yeah, there's a lot of episodes, and if you don't have WWE Network, it's free this month, and we don't mean to shill it out free because they're not advertising, but it is worth the $10 a month if you want to see great Raws. And Shane's in there. You got the old Kane.
Oh, I gotta watch it just for my boy Shane O'Mac.
You got Undertaker Stone Cold when Stone Cold was on the Undertaker symbol. HBK McMahon in the wheelchair was great.
Is this the time frame when we get It Was Me Austin?
Ooh, that's when was
no, not quite.
I think that was later on.
It might have been like 99.
Yeah, that was later on. But I mean that was a great era too. But they did release a ton. That was in the spring of summer '99. Steve,
yeah.
But The Rock was making his. Seeing Kane was big. Mankind. You got Dude Love. Corporate Stone Cold DX was big. So this was a lot of great episodes. The invasion of WCW with DX is '98.
ECW was 98 the year that we see.
Looks like Tyson was 98. So Tyson and Austin was 98.
Yeah, all right.
Sunny, she was hot. And he had, like you said, the New Age Outlaws, the old DX mixed with the new. There's a lot of great episodes. I watched an episode last night where DX was pissing on DOA's bikes. And they're actually pissing on their bikes.
DOA. All these groups you had. You had the Nation.
Los Boricuas.
DOA. Los Boricuas. Savio Vega.
The Oddities.
The Oddities. That's who ICP came out with. Oh, wow. Is that a young Michael Cole I see on the screen there?
Yes,
interviewing
Michael Cole.
Stone Cold Steve Austin.
There he is. I remember when Michael Cole had like tips, frosted tips.
Oh,
back
yeah.
in the day. Remember
that was a good time.
This is. I could watch this. They should just put an whole episode of Raw every Monday. I would.
This was
ratings
good.
would go through the roof.
This was good stuff.
But this is worth $10 a month. You have a whole year and a half of content to go through to watch.
Have a nice day.
Oh, yes. Dude Love, when Mick Foley turned and he shaved and he was corporate Mick Foley. I mean, there was a ton. And Vince, ultimate heel. It's ultimate heel.
Yeah, I think Vince gets beat up in the hospital bed. He gets hit with the bedpan in this.
What was the clown's
year.
name?
Jeez. I don't know. Doink? Not that clown.
No, the clown for Mick Foley. It's on the tip of my tongue. Oh man, what was it called? Wasn't Doink.
I don't know. What I love right now is that you looked up Mick Foley and clown and Noel Foley shows up.
Merle? Not Merle. Myrtle?
Yeah, maybe. Oh, yeah, the clown that comes with Mick Foley. Yeah. Myrtle sounds about right. I don't know.
It is whatever.
Whatever.
Tweet at us. Let us know if we're wrong or correct. But yeah, it's great content, and it leads us into Raw because Raw was kind of a snoozer. It was taped in the UK, so I knew it was going to happen.
The O2 Arena.
Yeah, you knew it was going to happen. I read the results before Raw to see if I could watch this. I saw that Seth Rollins was going to be a recliner. I had to watch it. I had to watch the stipulation. But we saw Neville compete with Ziggler.
What a match that was.
That was a good match.
Which, oh, by the way, This Is Awesome Wrestling Show fans, you may remember that a certain Adrian Neville was interviewed on this show.
Yes.
And we said, who would you like to feud with or have a match with on the main
Bryan.
roster? He said 2 people, one of which was Dolph Ziggler.
Yes.
And you saw it come to life on Monday Night Raw. And it was, oh, man, what a freaking match, man. How about the 450 action off the wall? Come on.
It was a great match, and that was a highlight of Raw. Seth Rollins, and we talked about this with Gary Barnidge, who's our guest for this week from the Browns, how awesome Seth Rollins is as a heel and how awesome his laugh is amazing. You got to be a true heel to be in the ring, have your security, all recliners, and you say the RKO is banned. He leans back, crosses his feet, and just laughs. It's amazing. Best heel champion in a very, very long time.
Yeah, I mean he's a different kind of heel than on the mic than a Brock Lesnar because he becomes a heel that everybody loves. But
I'm saying as a true heel,
yes,
Lesnar isn't a true heel,
right? Through no fault of his own. I mean, they put him up against John Cena.
I'm talking about the whole package.
He's a face everybody hates.
Lesnar, he doesn't talk. He just beats everybody up.
Yeah,
and people like him anyway.
Yeah,
people like Rollins too.
People like Rollins too.
But Rollins plays up to the heel perfectly.
He does.
By himself.
He's a little jackass.
Oh, he's great. It's terrific. The guy's dick pics are on the internet months ago, and he's champion, living the life.
Must be nice to be one of Triple H's boys.
NXT girl for a girlfriend.
If that happened to Zack Ryder, he'd be gone.
Oh, he'd be gone. Poor Zack.
We'd be seeing him at WrestleCon next year for sure.
That's our prediction. Hopefully, it doesn't come true. But Rollins is great. Had the whole Kane thing has to be built up to Kane to come back as the old Kane. Please, right? You think so? No?
I guess, but then what's he going to do? Beat Seth Rollins and become the champion?
No, but I think you'll have a nice program with Seth. Maybe to go through the summer out and build up Reigns and Ambrose or something. But this could be a thing to where they have Rollins beat Orton. That's over. And then move on to Kane. That could be like a holdover for a couple pay-per-views.
Somewhere's got to lead to Kane retiring.
Well, he's good still.
Yeah, he's
better than Big Show.
Yeah,
he's just being booked improperly.
True.
If he came back as old Kane, as not the revised old Kane, but the actual old Kane.
Yeah.
Oh, people go crazy.
Yeah. Kane and the Undertaker, one more run.
No, I don't want to see that.
All right, fine.
I want to see Kane, Seth Rollins. I want to see Kane come back, at least for a summer, at least till next WrestleMania, as the old Kane. Call it quits.
All right,
that'd be terrific. But that's a teaser as well. Other than that, I mean, just
wasn't much.
A lackluster.
Michael Cole came back.
They never give the UK any kind of Raw to be excited about.
No. There were moments of excitement. Michael Cole coming back being the thing of big note. I don't know that helps. Kicked off the show, John Cena and Wade Barrett.
Yeah, open challenge.
Yeah,
which is okay, but nothing to be excited about.
No, I mean it wasn't bad. Oh, did you like? So even after the Ziggler Neville match, we had more of heel Sheamus.
Yeah.
That's good. I liked that little brawl between Ziggler and Sheamus.
Yeah, it was okay.
Yeah, it got intense there for a moment.
I'm not buying Sheamus yet. I'm not buying it.
No,
not
because
yet.
he looks stupid.
Just I'm not a big Sheamus guy. Never have been. Never will be probably. But unless can't be champion, I'm just not big on Sheamus. The mid card.
Not either. We'll see how this bad guy thing turns.
And Daniel Bryan, there's rumors that he's hurt.
He's injured again. Yeah, maybe.
So that's going to be difficult to keep the belt on him. So maybe Barrett wins at Extreme Rules over Bryan. Maybe it's a quick win because they have been. This is all reportedly. Bryan has been on Raw, hasn't competed on Raw, any matches he's involved in are 6-man matches.
Right.
That he doesn't take a lot of bumps. But if Daniel Bryan's hurt, that's a big blow to WWE because he is one of the top
This has been a
guys.
thing even before WrestleMania, is that they were concerned, and that's why he wasn't really pushed into that main event. A lot of people wondering, and that was a huge reason why.
Yeah, it'd be a shame because he is one of the top guys, top draws, and if he has to go on the shelf for good.
He's already had a long career. People forget how long his career was before he even got to WWE.
In the Indies, he was. Yeah. So that's the other thing to watch out for. What happens with Extreme Rules coming up here in 12 days in Chicago. So that's gonna be something to watch too. So, all right, we're gonna take a break, and we're gonna have our interview with Mr. Gary Barnidge right here on This Is Awesome Wrestling Show, and all our interviews are sponsored by
Weber Grill. Download the free Weber Grill app, where you will find mouth-watering recipes and guides on tips and techniques for using your grill. Information will be delivered to your device weekly and are guaranteed to keep the fire burning. Go to Weber.com for more information. Weber.
There you go.
Get it right.
Not Chris Webber.
Not
Weber
Chris.
Grill.
Not C Web.
Not C-Web. How good is Rollins? I'm watching the video of Rollins laying back in the chair. And how good is Mercury and Night? And
I get it, but at the same time,
that's heelish. That's a heel. Look at
I
that.
know, but at
He's
the same
trolling
time,
you.
we want to talk about, we should believe certain things. Like, we're really led to believe that Randy Orton is going to be this cool, calm, and collected and not flip him over immediately upon coming out
That's
there.
awesome, though. And no RKO. We'll talk about this after the interview. No RKO, but is the Diamond Cutter Band.
I think I'm cute. I know I'm sexy. I've got the looks that drives to go wild. I've got the move.
Welcome back. This is Awesome Wrestling Show right here on CLESound.com. Our guest this week, sponsored by Weber Grill, is Cleveland Browns tight end Gary Barnidge. Gary's a big wrestling fan, WB fan, and you might have seen him on WWE's Total Divas. Luckily enough to go on a date with Summer Rae and Rosa Mendes. So he's a big wrestling fan. Wanted to come on and talk some Raw, some WrestleMania, and just talk some wrestling with him because he is a big wrestling fan. Let's bring him on right now. Gary, how are you doing, buddy?
I'm doing good. How about yourself?
Doing fine. All right. We got to ask you about Total Divas right off the bat because not everybody is lucky enough to say, hey, I went on a date on Summer Rae and Rosa Mendes. How was that whole experience?
It was definitely different. It's something that it's definitely different, especially the way it played out. I actually have not seen the episodes. I've been told what happened and everything, so I know they edited quite a bit of it and made it seem certain ways because I know certain conversations were like 45 minutes to an hour and a half, and they used 3 minutes of it, and I heard they portrayed me differently than what it really was, which is fine. I know it's TV. They got to bring drama apart.
But, I mean, obviously it's a reality show. There's writers on the show.
Exactly.
Did you, I mean, was this, I don't want to, pull the curtain, but was this more scripted than people think?
I would say, okay, some things might be scripted, but for the most part, all the talking pieces, everything we say is natural.
Yeah.
In the flow, there's nothing that we're told you have to say, you have to do, nothing like that. I think the only thing that's really planned is like where we're at or what we're doing there. That's about it, the meeting aspect. Other than that, all the conversations, all the talking, that's all natural. It's just how it goes.
I like that, Glenn, you said he's lucky enough to go on a date with Summer Rae and Rosa Mendes, leaving out that most wrestling fans aren't lucky enough to go on a date with one of them.
That's true.
I mean, do you feel like the luckiest wrestling fan alive in terms of crushes on divas after that, Gary?
I would say it was fun. It was definitely awesome, and it was a great experience. But it was only one date each, so it wasn't. Could have had more, maybe, or could have bring in other divas. You never know. Like, life's not over yet.
Yeah, there you go. So we should sign you up for The Bachelor sometime soon. Is that what we're saying?
I don't know if I would do that because I know that's all scripted, and I'm not really trying to put all that in public. I like my stuff when it comes to like that kind of stuff. I'm a very private person.
Yeah.
I don't want that out in the public. So it was already hard enough to do a date on TV. if you ever get a chance to experience just having a camera staring at
Yeah.
you the whole time you're eating, you start realizing I can't eat the same way I always eat, because then it's going to be all over you and you know it's going to be on camera. So you have to change the way you are on certain aspects.
So can we ask then, if you got to pick one, which one gets date number 2 with Gary Barnidge?
I would let the girls pick that one. I can't make that decision.
Good man.
They can
What a
pick who
gentleman.
wants.
What a gentleman.
I'll let them have a match and they can determine that.
All right, and it's possible because you are a guy you're good friends with Dre Lawler, just like we are, a good friend of the show. You go to WrestleMania with your buddy D'Angelo Williams, so you're all around WB. You're in the fold, they like to say. But you have a scavenger hunt, and tell us about that, because I want to talk about your charities, and you're a very involved man here in Cleveland. But the wrestling aspect, you had the scavenger hunt for a contest. Tell us about it, and this was the second year you did it?
Yeah, so I just parlayed it with some of the other stuff I do. So I do a Christmas scavenger hunt where I give away 5 gifts every Christmas, and people have to go do things with their family, and they win a gift if they get the first one's done. So I parlayed that with D'Angelo. I was like, well, we need to do something for WrestleMania. I think we should do something like that, and we should bring people. So we decided we're going to come up with, the first year we did 12 of the 15 things that you do. You had to do 12 of 15, and the first ones to get it finished, we just pay for your ticket. You came and joined us ringside and experience WrestleMania with us. This year, we wanted to up it. This year, we decided we're going to pay for airfare and hotel, which I think we'll do from now on. But we made it harder. You had to do 15 things. And a lot of people would say, oh, that's so hard to do, we can't finish it in a day. We'd have guys finish it in 6 hours.
Yeah.
And we do it on the weekend so you're off. And the purpose is we're going to make you be a little bit of embarrassed, but it's nothing that's going to get you in trouble. It's all in good fun, because we're shelling out a lot of money. None of this is a write-off. This is coming directly out of our pockets. So we paid for airfare, hotel. We went all day with them on Sunday, and then had seats right next to us. And then another thing we do as a rookie hazing, I guess, we do this with anybody new coming to wrestling with us that has not been. We buy them their outfit they have to wear their day of WrestleMania. So we go to a store. This year we went to a thrift store. So we try on outfits. We pick what we want to wear and what we want them to wear, and they have to wear it the whole day, the rest of the day. And we actually had one of my teammates, Johnson Batamosi. It was his first time going to a wrestling event. So he joined us his first time. So he had to dress up as well. So it's not just the contest winners. Anytime we have anybody new to our group, they have to dress up.
I'll keep that in mind next year if I want to come.
It's all in good fun. We're going to embarrass you a little bit, but we're also seen with you. So we're embarrassing ourselves a little bit. It's all in good fun. Everybody has fun. We haven't had any complaints about it. Everybody loves it. Everybody takes pictures with them because we dress them up to look weird.
That's the thing, though. That's WrestleMania, because that's like, I mean, people
Exactly.
dress up as
Express
wrestlers.
yourself.
It's the whole aura of it.
Yep.
Now, what if somebody came to you and they won this, and they were, say, like the biggest fan of somebody that you're just like, no, I can't get on board with that? Would you still let them go?
They can't. You have to be. We do that preface of the beginning of the competition. When we release the rules, we say, here are the rules, and you have to be willing to dress up. Because if you're not going to dress, you can't win.
Who's your least favorite guy on the roster, right? Like, you're not one of these people yelling at John Cena the whole time, and then if you had like a big John Cena fan, you wouldn't be like, nope, sorry, you can't come on this trip, would you? No.
They can cheer for whoever they want, because we're going to go right at them. So, like, one of the guys, he liked John Cena. Me and D'Angelo's not a big fan of John Cena. So we were giving him crap the whole time he was cheering. One of them wanted Bray Wyatt to beat Undertaker. Yeah. Undertaker is D'Angelo's favorite wrestler. So he's yelling, go Bray, and D'Angelo's just giving him an evil look and just messing with him. It's all in good fun. Like, me and D'Angelo, we had we had to get something between us a couple years back because the Undertaker Shawn Michaels match. And my favorite HBK, his is Undertaker, so we were really close to each other then. And then we had to put something between us because we were going back and forth, but it was all in good fun.
How was this WrestleMania to you as a fan and watching? Did it live up to the hype, or did it exceed it? And just your
I thought
overall thoughts.
I thought it was great. I thought it was one of the best WrestleManias in recent times. To me, my favorite was the HBK Undertaker WrestleMania when they headlined. They had the best match of the night just because I got to see HBK live. But I think this is probably the second one since that one. I think that was 28, I believe. So this is the second. Right behind that, this is number 2 for me. I think the whole Sting wrestling was amazing. The whole NWO DX was awesome. I hated Shawn Michaels super kicking Sting because I like Sting. He was my WCW guy.
Yeah.
And it was awesome. It was great. The whole thing was great. Brock Lesnar just destroying Roman Reigns, and then Seth Rollins coming out, which I think people expected, but they didn't know he was actually going to win it. And the way he won everything. I thought the whole thing was pretty good.
Yeah, I agree. I think the whole night was pretty well booked. The whole Sting. I mean, you're a Sting guy. Did it make sense to you to see NWO helping Sting out at all? Did that make sense?
I think it does, just because it was WCW. It was WCW versus WWF, DX versus NWO. So it worked to me because Sting had the feud with NWO when he was in WCW. So the fact that they came out to have his back for WCW, I thought that was great. But the thing that's crazy was X-Pac was in NWO at one point too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like it's crazy because you have Scott Hall and Kevin Nash are best friends with Triple H and Shawn Michaels. So it's just a crazy correlation how they all know each other. It was good though. I thought it was a great when DX's music hit, place erupted. When NWO's music hit, it was even louder.
It was a WrestleMania moment for sure.
Yeah, did you?
Yes.
When NWO's music hit, were you kind of like some of us and we were like, oh, okay, it's gonna be Hall and Nash, but then Hogan came out. I mean, was that even more of a surprise for you too?
I thought it was a surprise, but it wasn't as big a surprise just because Hogan was one of the mainstays with Hall and Nash when NWO. But so I didn't know if he was going to come out because he's also really old. I didn't know if he could really wrestle or hit anybody anymore.
Yeah, they took some bumps.
But I thought it was good. I did not like the handshake at the end between Triple H and Sting, because then Triple H came back out and said, "Oh, I beat Sting" on stuff. So that nulls the handshake, but it's pointless. You don't have mutual respect, and then you come out dissing the guy that you won. I was very disappointed with the whole Sting match, how he lost, because it just shouldn't happen that way.
Is there a match? I know as Glenn and I were kind of building up to WrestleMania, and at certain points it looked like there were going to be a couple matches on the card that didn't end up being. Is there a match that you feel like was maybe left off of there that you would have liked to have seen this year?
Well, I would like to have seen it this year, but I've heard rumors it's going to be for next year. Sting Undertaker.
Yeah.
So I think that match will be iconic. Yeah, they're both old. It's going to be a fun match. Interesting. It's going to be interesting how they play the storyline. I would love to see it this year, but I'm willing to wait till next year in Dallas when they're going to have over 100,000 people in the stands. That's fine.
How awesome is Seth Rollins? Just on Raw, and the way he's selling the whole heel champion, the way he won the title
in a lazy boy,
in the recliner, just the whole championship surrounding Rollins has been terrific so far. You agree?
I agree. The way he's handling himself with that is awesome. But I would love to see how Bray Wyatt does it when he gets it, if he ever gets the opportunity to be champion. Because to me, Bray Wyatt is the best with the mic skills.
Yeah.
So if you put a title on him and you give him the mic skills, I don't know. That's going to blow people away. Because I think right now he's the best on the mic of anybody in WWE. But Seth Rollins is doing a great job playing that character. I'm interested in how everything's going to continue.
Yeah, you were with us there at Access this year when Bray came out and he was on the mic.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess I was surprised, but not surprised. But I mean, his response from the fans was crazy, and it was insane for a heel.
Yeah, people love. Well, I think people love to hate him, and so that makes them like him even more. It's like when you think of Troll 2, the movie's horrible. Nobody likes it, but you love it. It's a cult classic. and I think that's the status he's getting. He's getting the cult classic status of a wrestler. But he's also got great skills too. That's the thing. He's a great heel. I don't think he could be anything but a heel. He could not be he's going to be popular as a heel. If you make him a good guy, it would never work because his whole mystique and everything wouldn't work. But he's still a good guy in people's eyes, even though he's a bad character.
Are you a big NXT guy? Do you follow that much?
I have not watched much. I saw the only NXT show I've been to. I went to when the Wyatts were wrestling, Fandango, Xavier Woods, Emma. They were all still in NXT right before they all got called up. I went to that one, but I have not followed it much. Love his little flip thing. What's his name?
Adrian Neville.
Yeah, he just lost. Yeah, Seth Rollins. He's awesome.
Yeah, I love how they're booking him. I mean, he's losing, but he's putting some great matches.
And I've actually missed every one of the Lucha Dragons matches. I don't know if they're good or not.
That's the hottest tag team going right now.
That's what I've heard. I've seen so much, but like I've missed bits and pieces of wrestling recently because I was out of the country. And I'm working on my house down here, so in between I'm catching it, and I always miss their match. But I hear so much about them, so I'm interested to watch a match of theirs because I have not seen. I love the High Flyers. Back in WCW days, I was a Jushin Thunder Liger fan, so that's way back name.
I got to know because obviously being a member of the media, you get to know some of the players and whatnot. But I know there's quite a few guys in all professional sports that are big wrestling fans. What percentage of the locker room in the Browns would you say regularly watch wrestling like you do?
10%.
Oh wow, that's it?
That'd be my guess because I don't have very many guys that talk wrestling. Mingo, he talks wrestling because he went to his first event with me 2 years ago or last year, and then he's gone. He watches it now. Batamosi might have been converted to one after WrestleMania, but I don't think there's a lot of guys in the room. At least if there are, they don't talk about it. I openly talk about it. I have no problem. I have fun with it. It's cool.
Batamosi, how did he? I mean, his first event, right? I mean, WrestleMania is a pinnacle.
Yeah, he watched it when he was growing up, and he was asking like storyline questions about characters during the wrestling. But I think he had an amazing experience. Like he's like after the show, he's like that was just. I'm like I got the urge to watch it again because it was just an amazing experience. And I actually wrote an article for Fox Sports. They asked me to write an article about wrestling right before WrestleMania, so I did that. And that's what I talked about, the experience of WrestleMania, what I was doing, how people think wrestling is all fake and all scripted, which some of it is, but all of it's not. People still get hurt. They still have serious injuries. And they do this more than anybody. They do it 300-something days a year.
Yeah,
doing physical stuff where you're going to get hurt. And people just think all of it's so fake. And I wrote a whole article about how that's not true. Certain aspects are. And it's just my feelings on that. I'm sure a lot of people would like to express.
It's funny that you mention it in that manner because Ken Shamrock just did an interview recently, and he had talked about how he got hurt more, and the WWF was more taxing on him at that time than fighting in the UFC because he'd only fight once every 6 months or something.
Yeah, and WWE, you're wrestling 5-6 times a week. People think, oh, you're just wrestling Raw and SmackDown. No, they have house shows. They have everything.
Yeah, it's like they're only home for 2 days out of the week. It's a grueling job to do, and people don't realize they're in the ring for 10 minutes. But I mean, it's 5-6 times a week.
Yeah, and then you're still taking bumps. You're still landing. Yeah, you're laying on the mat. The mat's not a bed. It's still it gives way, but it doesn't give way a lot. You got to learn how to fall. You're still landing on that little mat on the outside covering the concrete that's actually a half an inch thick. You've been
backstage. You obviously hanging out with Lawler and whatnot. Is there a guy, a superstar, or even an old wrestler that you have met that you kind of not been starstruck, but kind of been like, wow, this is. Have you met HBK? Have you met Vince? I mean, has it been?
I have not got to meet HBK or Vince. I've walked by Triple H. Haven't talked to him because he was doing his chairman stuff, whatever he does. But got to meet X-Pac at last year's WrestleMania party thing, and that was great just because I watched him as a 1-2-3 kid. stealing the money from Razor Ramon, like seeing all that stuff, and then watching them for DX and then NWO and all the different characters. Like that kind of stuff was great. Just meeting him, and he was very nice, very social. That was awesome. I met Randy Orton a couple times. I talked to him, and he's just a phenomenal athlete and character. His way he wrestles and the intensity is awesome. I've met Batista. He's a great guy. I've met quite a few guys, but my number one I would like to meet is Undertaker and HBK. Those would be the two guys I do want to meet, but I have not had the opportunity to.
Have you, I mean, you're an athlete. You've got the size. Did you ever, or have you ever still in your mind kind of toiled with this idea that you maybe could or would want to make a transition?
Not really. I love watching it. I like to wrestle around with my buddies and stuff like that. I've joked around. I want to buy a wrestling ring for my house, and just so we have wrestling matches, messing around and stuff. But you have to go through so much more training again, and I'd be doing the whole process over of what I've done for football, and I'd be starting late in my life if I did that anyways. And I just don't know if you take a beating in football, then you have to go take a beating in that. I don't know if I could do a schedule of 300 days a year taking physical toll after football.
All right, Gary.
Like you have some guys that have done that, but they didn't play very long in the NFL or football.
Yeah, that's true. They all kind of started a bit earlier than you would be. Yeah.
Yeah.
What? Okay, you're the main event of WrestleMania. Gary Barnidge, you are main eventing WrestleMania, whatever, 30, whatever. Who is your ideal opponent? And are you the good guy or bad guy?
And do you give him a where? Can you pick the stadium?
And where?
Okay, so I'd be a good guy.
Okay.
I'm usually a good guy when I play video games. I play the good route, whatever. It's whatever. I'd want to take on. That's a good question. Well, see, where would I be at first? It would probably be. I would do Orlando, Florida, something like that. So because it's close to my family, they can come see and everything like that. And then maybe even Jacksonville. Who knows? And who would I wrestle? Could it be any time, all time, or just recent?
Yeah, anytime.
Anybody, dead or alive?
All time. To have a good match. So I want to put on something you're going to remember. So.
Gilbert.
No.
I'm surprised not Shawn Michaels, man.
Yeah, I thought this would be an easy one.
I could say Shawn Michaels, but I wouldn't want to wrestle him.
He couldn't be the good guy beating Shawn Michaels.
Come on.
Yeah. So I would lose purposely.
Lay down.
Let's see. I would probably wrestle. All right, y'all answer that question for me and what I'm thinking of mine. Who would y'all wrestle?
Mine would be Vader.
Okay.
That would be my WrestleMania. That's because the guy has amazing agility for a big man, and I feel that could be a legit fight. That'd be amazing. I could actually hit him because he would hit me. But mine would be Vader here in Cleveland, and obviously I would be the good guy. He would be the bad guy. Steve?
I don't know, honestly.
I think mine would be.
Did we talk about this before?
Yeah, I'd never know who my answer would be.
I think mine would be Kane in his heyday as the Big Red Machine.
Oh,
when he was Undertaker's brother back in the Attitude Era, because I would want to have like a casket match or a buried alive match again.
Do you find yourself watching WWE Network and like kind of like Netflix? You're binging on old episodes of Raw and old pay-per-views. Do you do that too?
I do at points. I do at times. They have so much content on it, which is awesome, and it's a great deal, I think. So I watch a lot of that stuff, and I also let my buddies, they can use it as well, so they can watch and catch up on stuff, because I'll go back and watch some old WCW matches of wrestlers that you don't ever get to see anymore. Like, it's just awesome.
Don't say Chris Benoit. All right, you're part of the American Football Without Barriers. You're a big charity guy. You do your movie contest here in Cleveland during the season when you're here. You take people out to the movies. You're just a charitable guy, man.
I do try to do a lot of stuff. I try to give back as much as I can. I try to give back a lot to the fans, just because I feel they don't get enough recognition for the stuff they do for us, cheering us on games and doing all the stuff outside of that, buying merchandise, doing anything to help the team out. Like, that's part of I think my responsibility to give back to them. So I do a movie giveaway during the season where every week I take 10 fans to the movies. I pay for their ticket. I spend about 30 minutes with them before the movie. We hang out, talk. I bring teammates along. I just try to do something different. I do my scavenger hunt, obviously, for Christmas time. I also take 10 kids from Ohio Guidestone to every home game, and I give away my shoes to a kid after every home game. They pick out the kid, and he comes on the field at the game. I give them my shoes, win or lose. Just seeing a smile on their face is amazing. And then I have my nonprofit where I started with Ahmed Aladala, who I went to school with at Louisville, and then Barnidge Community, the starting right tackle of the Jets, who was my college roommate. We go to other countries, and we do a football camp for kids. We visit orphanages, and we give away clothes and just talk to the kids. This year we went to Turkey, and we actually did a camp with the Special Olympics as well. So we actually had 80-something kids for a 3-day camp. So it was awesome. We had so much fun. We take in the culture, we see the sights, and learn the history of the area we're at. We visit, like I said, orphanages. We went to China 2 years ago. Last year we went to Brazil. And we don't know where we're going this year. We'll be discussing that this summer.
How you feeling, man? I know the season's coming up. You guys will be starting here with mini camp, training camp in the summer. But how you feeling personally?
I'm feeling great. Ready to go. Ready to get back at it.
I know that as of this episode right now, I mean, the jersey haven't been revealed. I sent you some pictures, leaked some photos, but your first impressions of the new jerseys, if those are the ones.
If those the ones you sent me or the new ones, I love the brown and orange ones, and then the orange pants with I don't know if that was brown or black on top. But I love that whole outfit. Was nice, but who knows if it's real or not?
Yeah,
we'll find out later tonight, I guess.
Yeah,
and then we'll see.
All right, Gary. With pleasure talking with you, and hope to see you. Raw comes to town, I think, in June.
Do you know when?
Yeah, Raw comes to town in June. I'm not sure that could conflict with your football schedule.
Well, it all depends on the date. The date. If it's like late June, I'll probably be back in Florida because we'll be done.
I think it's
June
there, 16th, I believe. I think it's
June 16th. I'll be there.
June 15th. I think it's June 15th.
I'll be there then.
All right, buddy. Look forward to talking to you then. Talk some more wrestling. You're always welcome to come on the show, man.
All right, I appreciate it. Thank you for having me on.
Thanks to Gary Barnidge for coming on the show. Always a pleasure talking with him. Hung out with him at WrestleMania weekend in San Jose. And he'll be on the field this fall for the Cleveland Browns as they hope to turn around the luck here in Cleveland. But thanks to Gary. And he'll be on here again shortly. He will be one of the many-time. He'll be one of the guys that we give a jacket to for coming on the show. Kind of like SNL. If you host the show 5 times, you
get the robe.
Get the robe.
The card.
Should we give him tights?
Tights?
Yeah.
Oh, like wrestling tights.
Yeah.
I may give him like a Ric Flair kind of robe, Nature Boy robe. You know.
But Gary Barnidge, always a pleasure talking with him. And all our interviews are sponsored by
Weber Grill. Join the Weber Nation community where you can share stories, recipes, photos, and participate in blogs. Go to Weber.com, the heart of Weber and the hub of Weber love.
Gary Barnidge, this week's guest. In the coming weeks, we're going to have a whole slew of guests coming up. And
sure hope so.
A couple of weeks, we're going to be at AIW's, a big event coming up. Make them say,
oh.
They have the Young Bucks are going to be in town. Mickey James will be in town.
Yeah.
It looks like Brian Myers, you know him as Kurt Hawkins, will be in town. EC3 will be in town. So a lot of great indie action right here in Cleveland. Go to AIWrestling.com for more details. There are tickets available. We might have John Thorne come on next week to talk about the event for a late push. There are no more VIP tickets available, only $20 general admission. It's a great little venue, very intimate. They do have bleacher sitting, so if the chairs hurt your butt, you can sit in the bleachers.
Yeah.
It's fine.
And you never know who you're going to see. The fun thing is you're going to watch people, and you don't know what's going to happen to them next, like we've already talked about on this show. Jasmine, we watched her at AIW Wrestling, and then she was gone like that next weekend because she got signed to NXT. That was essentially one of her last indie performances ever. And then we also saw Jimmy Jacobs wrestle that night.
Yeah.
He didn't get signed as a performer, but he got to become a writer, which is still pretty cool to become a part of the creative team.
Yeah.
So it's neat to say that you saw these guys when that happened. And the list goes on and on of people that did wrestle. A huge proud moment for AIW when Seth Rollins was crowned champion at WrestleMania because he was once an AIW champion.
Yeah. So, like I said, plenty of great indie action right here in Cleveland, and support the indie scene no matter where you're at. And like you said, it could be anybody. Next guy you watch in a gym full of 100 people could be the next big thing in NXT.
It's probably going to be Steve Guy. Not at all. Just kidding.
Maybe. Follow your dream.
I'd be a sweet manager.
God.
An advocate.
Oh,
you know it.
All right.
I could do better than, what's his name?
Who?
Byron
Saxton.
Yeah. Calling the match.
Saxton is pretty bad. He still is bad.
I watched Hulu Plus earlier this morning, and he did the opening thing like, "Oh, you're watching Raw on Hulu Plus." More energy there than he's ever shown on Raw or SmackDown.
Awful on Raw, and I really, really hope he doesn't come back ever. Even after Cole retires, I hope Saxton isn't the one.
That's harsh.
I wouldn't mind
There's
Renee
room for
Young.
improvement.
Renee Young.
Well, hopefully.
She'd be good to look at.
Yeah. Call your play-by-play?
I wouldn't mind that.
Yeah.
Or bring back JR. Just bury the hatchet. Sauce it.
I'm still waiting for Mike Adamle.
Jeff Harvey. He was awful too. All right. Like I said, Raw, RKO, no RKO, steel cage match. Like, okay, like we're going to believe that no one has interfered in a match with a steel cage up.
Right.
Why would Randy Orton do a Hell in a Cell?
That's what I was thinking, because immediately you think about he's going to climb the cage, and there's J&J. They're going to be climbing the cage from the outside, trying to keep him in. Or
have the stipulation, no outside interference whatsoever, and Rollins instantly loses the title if they do it. Like, why don't you do that?
I don't know, because the cage is more exciting.
We're smarter than the average writer.
It's going to be sweet.
Oh, it's going to be a great match, no doubt. No RKO. Bring back the punt, maybe?
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah, I was thinking that too.
Probably a Scorpion Death Drop.
I think it's going to be the punt, and they're going to, or even a curb stomp. Maybe Orton steals Rollins' curb stomp.
Yeah.
Into a punt, maybe?
Yeah.
Or something. I don't know.
That could be cool.
I think the punt makes a return, though.
I think he lines up for the punt, but instead curb stomps.
There you go. You're on it. No need to watch pay-per-view now. We know how it's going to happen. But Rollins is going to win. I think he's going to retain, though.
All right, fine.
All right. We'll talk to you next week. We'll talk more Raw. We'll talk the big headlines surrounding WWE and the world of professional wrestling. Make sure to, like I said, AIWrestling.com if you're in Cleveland. Come on out. If you see Steve and I, we are always in the back right there watching.
Yeah, hanging out kind of in the corner.
Come over and say hello. Don't
Not
be shy.
Not like creeps or anything.
Buy us a hot dog.
Yeah, don't be that girl staring at me.
Oh, my God. Steve Guy has a stalker. I hope she's there this time. Okay, there's a squirrel.
She probably listens.
This girl. Okay, we can't rip on her.
No.
Very wonderfully looking girl. Steve Guy.
I think it's just coincidence.
She caught the eye of Steve Guy.
No, I caught her eye.
I think it was both ways, buddy.
No, I don't think
you
so,
were looking
buddy.
too.
I don't think so. I think not.
Why not?
No.
She probably goes, hey, I know him.
Yeah, he's famous. He's
He
on
is.
This Is Awesome Wrestling show.
I mean,
and he has a book.
And she was waiting for you to make a move.
A book called Memoirs of a Wingman. I probably saw him tell jokes once before.
You know what? In 2 weeks, if she comes up,
I follow him on Instagram at the guy Steve. What else can I plug?
If she's there, I'll help you out. I'll be your wingman.
I'm good.
I'll be your wingman.
I'm okay.
I'll read your book and take notes.
Well, I think it's about that time on the show where I make my trip to either Chicago or Indianapolis so that I can visit one of Weber Grill restaurants. Enjoy the flavors of charcoal grilling all year long at Weber Grill restaurants. Like I said, stop into one of our 4 Midwest locations in Chicago and Indianapolis. Visit WeberGrillRestaurant.com for addresses and directions, and sign up for the new Grill Club where you can earn great loyalty awards.
Gotta brush up my wingman skills for AIW. We'll see you guys next week right here on CLE Sound, and this is Awesome Wrestling Show.